And Sienna on camera work. Got a corny joke. Want to hear it? Here it go. So, what happens when a snowman throws a tantrum?
Kanye West has always known how to rile people up, but no one ever expected him to target Beyoncé's children. For years, there was an undercurrent of tension between Kanye and the Carter family, whispers of a shattered friendship, simmering resentment, and mutual disappointment. When people think of Kanye, they remember a brilliant but unpredictable artist who redefined his industry more than once, yet lately, his creativity has become entangled with controversy, leaving fans and former friends uneasy about what he might do next. His latest outburst crossed a boundary nobody saw coming. By lashing out at the children of two of the world's most influential music icons, Kanye set off a tidal wave of outrage, not just from fans, but from a quietly furious Beyoncé herself.
Kim has Zionist media handlers surrounding her, all in and out her Hulu TV show, all in and out her family, all in or out the house that I created for my family.
For years, Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and Kanye shared a bond that looked unbreakable. On stage and off, they seemed like a family of their own, supporting each other through triumphs and tragedies. Kanye publicly hailed Beyoncé's talent with intense devotion, while Jay-Z acted as a kind of guiding presence. Their households mingled behind the scenes.
Tina's response comes amid the runaway rapper's latest spewing of controversial social media posts. It also includes harmful accusations hurled towards his ex, Kim Kardashian, pertaining to their children North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm.
Forging memories that would have left fans starstruck if more were known. But in one social media tirade, all the goodwill may have gone up in flames, replaced by anger that even Beyoncé, renowned for her poise, cannot ignore. That final thread tying Kanye to the Carters seems to have snapped the moment he decided to insult their children. How did such a revered artist end up taking shots at innocent kids? Was it the weight of fame, family issues, or something else entirely?
If you look at the two Interview magazine covers, look at the one when I was there and look at the one when I'm not there. And that's the reason why this Tuskegee experiment of such that's happened to the Black community.
The public is left in shock, bracing for a possible response from Beyoncé. Will she remain the serene figure she's always been? Or is she ready to defend her family in a more direct and maybe ferocious way? After all, no loving parent can stand by while hurtful rumors are flung at their children, especially by someone who once claimed to be a friend. You can practically feel the tension rising, like a storm about to break, threatening to rewrite the story of pop culture feuds. But if anyone still doubts the magnitude of this clash, they haven't been paying attention to how protective Beyoncé and Jay-Z can be. We're about to unravel the history of how one of music's strongest friendships spiraled into this conflict.
God is alive, the devil is a defeated foe, and Kim is a Christian woman, and she's not here just to have content up on adult channels. She's not here just to have that last Interview magazine cover.
The further we delve, the more obvious it becomes that Kanye's recent attacks are just the latest explosions in a long brewing storm. And the real puzzle now is how far Beyoncé will go to shield her children, and whether Kanye will finally pay for the consequences of his reckless speech. Stay tuned, because the fallout might transform the entire entertainment landscape. But just when it seems like we've got a grip on this shocking narrative, a twist emerges, one that no one, not even the Carters themselves, could have foreseen.
So I'm on the set of a photo shoot today for my book, and I wanted to tell you a corny joke because I have on all this glamorous hair and makeup thanks to Cole and Darius.
They weren't always at war. There was a time when Kanye, Beyoncé, and Jay-Z formed a creative force that energized modern music. Fans recall the electrifying stage performances, the synergy that took hold whenever the three converged in one place. During the early 2000s, Kanye injected new life into Jay-Z's empire,
where they took the fathers out of the home and the leaders out of the community and have torn apart the community. Now they've seen that's worked, and they're doing that to America. They're attempting, they're trying.
While Beyoncé became a brilliant focal point that both men seemed eager to spotlight. Their collaborations, appearances, and mutual praises turned them into the industry's most envied trio, a spectacle of friendship, music, and raw star power. Behind the spotlight, insiders described authentic companionship. They would gather for dinners, stand by each other's side during personal crises, and celebrate professional milestones as if they were one big family.
The Texas Hold'em singer's mom is subtly showing support for her family in an Instagram video shared March 19th.
In a cutthroat industry, this level of genuine care was a rare treasure. Their camaraderie inspired countless admirers, with many believing they could weather any storm, yet real life isn't always so picture perfect. Even in seemingly indestructible circles, tensions form, stoked by small slights, unmet expectations, and the silent demands of ambition. A few cryptic headlines hinted that not everything was as rosy as it seemed. Rumors of conflicting business decisions, creative disagreements, and personal snubs started to swirl. Still, fans held out hope that all was well, or at worst, the difficulties were fleeting. After all, how could a bond this strong simply wither away?
Tina Knowles is standing up for her family after Kanye West shared a since-deleted offensive post on X about Beyonce and Jay-Z's 7-year-old twins, Rumi and Sir.
Yet the transition from discreet rumblings to full-fledged drama was inevitable. The difference now is that it's no longer a whisper behind closed doors. It's a public crescendo fueled by social media where even a single tweet can set the entire world ablaze. That's the backdrop for Kanye's escalating accusations. When trust unravels in a friendship like theirs, the fallout is harsher and more spectacular than any rivalry between strangers. People once hailed them as an unbreakable unit. Now, fans can hardly believe the speed at which alliances are dissolving. As events spiral, it's no longer just about bruised egos. Deeper wounds, hidden resentments, and possible vendettas are surging to the surface in a chain reaction that seems destined to end in disaster. And this is where things begin to unravel faster than anyone predicted, laying bare the turning points that would eventually lead to the most unforgivable assault, bringing children into the line of fire.
What happens when a snowman throws a tantrum? He has a meltdown.
The fracture between Kanye and the Carters wasn't caused by a random squabble. The seeds of this rift were sown years ago as Kanye's signature penchant for controversy bled into his personal relationships. Once upon a time, his outbursts were almost endearing to those who knew him, a testament to his unfiltered passion. But over time, what looked like rebellious spirit morphed into a darker streak of relentless finger-pointing. At one point, Kanye claimed that Beyoncé would only perform at award shows if she was guaranteed to win. That was the first major bomb he dropped, insinuating that her fame could manipulate the industry. These allegations cut deep, not just because they struck at Beyoncé's integrity, but because they came from someone who had once championed her as the gold standard of musical artistry. The notion that she was strong-arming her way to accolades left fans reeling. Was Kanye unveiling inconvenient truths, or was he simply lashing out? His suspicions and accusations only multiplied. Kim Kardashian's traumatic robbery in Paris became another flashpoint when Kanye publicly criticized Jay-Z for failing to reach out. He seemed convinced that the Carters were stepping back from him when he needed them most. By the time 2022 arrived, Kanye's conspiratorial claims had escalated. He spoke of powerful figures controlling celebrities behind the scenes, even implying that Jay-Z and Beyoncé were involved in sinister activities. It was a jarring leap from accusing them of snobbery or aloofness to suggesting they could manipulate or even harm people. These were no trivial grievances, and yet Jay-Z and Beyoncé opted for silence. Anyone who followed the Carters knew they rarely addressed rumors, preferring to let stories fade or address them indirectly, if at all. While some interpreted their silence as disdain for Kanye's rants, others believed it was their way of preserving dignity. Whatever the reason, the tension grew thick, an open secret in the music world. The bond that once seemed unbreakable had definitely begun to fray, but these earlier blowups would soon be overshadowed by a fresh controversy, one that struck at the core of Beyoncé's identity as both a mother and a fiercely private celebrity. Get ready, because what Kanye said next made everything before it look tame. By now, the world knows that Beyoncé doesn't play around when it comes to protecting her kids from public scrutiny. So when Kanye attacked her children, specifically insinuating there was something off about her twins, he hit a nerve so sensitive that fans and critics alike erupted in rage. The tweets were deleted, but not before screenshots spread like wildfire. People were stunned by both the brazenness and cruelty of his words, which called into question why her twins, Sir and Rumi, aren't often in the limelight. It was the ultimate hypocrisy, many argued. Kanye had previously criticized Kim Kardashian for making their daughter North too visible on social media, claiming children deserve privacy. Now he seemed to ridicule Beyonce for doing exactly that, shielding her kids from prying cameras. The hypocrisy caused a wave of disgust, not just among the Carter faithful, but among a growing circle of Kanye's own fans who found this a step too far. Even more galling was Kanye's follow-up, where he admitted that he only removed those offensive tweets because he feared losing his social media platform, not because he regretted his words. The Carters have kept a tight lid on their twins' lives, especially on Sir, prompting speculation in gossip circles that something was amiss. Perhaps he had a disability, or Beyonce was ashamed of him. Ugly rumors that Beyonce's mom, Tina Knowles, has firmly dispelled. According to Tina, Sir is simply a private child with a keen interest in numbers rather than performing in front of an audience. This protective stance is completely in line with how the Carters have raised all their children, choosing to share glimpses only when they see fit. That Kanye would twist this privacy into something nefarious infuriated fans. His words also carried an undercurrent of maliciousness, especially considering Beyonce's difficult pregnancy with the twins. She nearly faced life-threatening complications, and the twins were in NICU for weeks. To insinuate something sinister about children born in such precarious circumstances was seen as not just an attack on celebrity kids, but a heartless jab at an entire family who survived a harrowing experience. And if rumors are true, this outrage might soon ignite a legal firestorm, with Beyonce ready to invoke powerful measures against the man who dared to drag her children into his chaotic orbit. Beyonce is no stranger to public drama, but she's usually at least one step removed from it. Whether addressing infidelity rumors through cryptic albums or calmly ignoring speculation about her personal life, she is known for her dignified silence. This time, however, she might be ready to break that silence. Reports claim she and Jay-Z have been gathering receipts, analyzing Kanye's social media rants for any grounds to pursue legal action. If they do decide to sue, it would be a seismic event in pop culture. We've seen Beyonce's mother, Tina, step up to correct falsehoods, especially regarding Sir's personality, so we can only imagine the steps Beyonce herself might take. Fans are buzzing about possible creative clapbacks, maybe a pointed reference in a new album, or a carefully crafted visual metaphor in a future performance. But there's also the stark possibility of direct legal action, a realm where the Carters excel at quietly but decisively handling problems. Meanwhile, Jay-Z's role shouldn't be overlooked. He has a long, complex history with Kanye, marked by incredible collaborations and bitter fallouts. Some believe he's the one orchestrating a potential lawsuit or forging backdoor alliances that could sideline Kanye in the industry. One phone call from Jay-Z can shift the tides in music, streaming, branding, and touring. If he's truly angered, he has the power to affect Kanye's career in ways that go beyond a few sensational headlines. Yet the question remains whether a simple lawsuit or public scolding will be enough. Some insiders claim the Carters have a broader plan, one that could strike at Kanye's financial and professional foundations. If so, the backlash might be far bigger than anyone anticipates. Kanye's flip-flop on child privacy is one of the most glaring contradictions in recent memory. He once condemned the overexposure of his own kids, even calling out tabloid culture and paparazzi laws for exploiting minors. Now he's harassing Beyonce for keeping her children out of the spotlight. This double standard has sparked a tsunami of social media criticism, with many declaring that Kanye has lost the moral high ground, if he ever had it. His defenders often invoke mental health as a reason for his erratic statements, highlighting his known struggles. They argue it's unfair to hold him to conventional standards. However, critics counter that mental health issues don't excuse deliberately targeting children or spreading vile rumors. If anything, they say Kanye should seek treatment rather than lashing out in increasingly harmful ways. The Carters, for their part, seem disinclined to entertain excuses this time, especially given the personal nature of his attacks. So here we are, watching public opinion tilt against Kanye in a way we haven't quite seen before. In the past, fans overlooked or even celebrated his brazen behavior as part of his genius, but insulting children has crossed a line, and his persistent refusal to recant suggests there's no easy resolution in sight. Even those who once sympathized with him are finding it difficult to defend his latest episode, and the tension only escalates when you realize how far Beyonce and Jay-Z might go in their rumored revenge. If what insiders say is true, the repercussions could involve more than just courts. It might reshape Kanye's career from the ground up. Beyoncé and Jay-Z are not limited to music. They have stakes in tech companies, production studios, fashion lines, and philanthropic efforts. If they decide to blacklist someone, that person may discover endorsements vanish overnight, partnership deals mysteriously fall through, and venues hesitate to book them. A quiet conversation with the right executives can tip the scales in an artist's favor or push them out of the mainstream entirely. Some fans argue this approach is harsh, but others see it as a fitting response to a vicious personal attack. Whether it's a defamation suit, a public condemnation, or a covert campaign to isolate Kanye in the industry, the Carters have the clout to do it all. And Kanye, despite his bravado, might not be equipped to handle a systematic shutdown engineered by two of the most influential figures in modern entertainment. Of course, there's a lingering possibility, however slim, that Kanye could apologize and attempt to mend fences before it's too late. But his recent track record suggests otherwise. He's more prone to doubling down, even when public sentiment turns against him. If that pattern holds, the Carters could finally unleash consequences that change the rules of the game. This wouldn't be just a personal vendetta, it might serve as a warning to anyone else who thinks they can exploit or slander the Carters without repercussions. Still, the biggest question looming is whether Kanye will surrender or escalate. If he chooses escalation, we might witness an explosive showdown that reshapes alliances, breaks fan bases, and influences how future feuds are handled in the public sphere. Every celebrity feud has its cultural ripple effects, but this one cuts deeper than a simple clash of egos. It involves family boundaries, mental health awareness, the corrosive nature of online speculation, and the consequences of impulsive speech. It also highlights the deep interconnection between personal rapport and professional opportunities in an industry where a single relationship can open or close countless doors. Can Kanye bounce back from insulting one of the most revered artists in pop culture, and her children no less? He's overcome past controversies, from cringe-worthy award show interruptions to alarming political outbursts. Yet rattling the Carters might be too big a storm to withstand. Devoted fans might finally say enough, and the entertainment machine could turn its back on him. It's one thing to provoke the public, but challenging Beyoncé and Jay-Z has historically been a losing battle. For the Carter brand, taking overt action against Kanye runs counter to their usual aura of composure and tight-lipped grace. They've always managed their public image with precision, rarely engaging directly in drawn-out spats. However, ignoring an attack on their children could be seen as weakness, something neither of them has ever tolerated. This tension between their preference for privacy and their need to protect their family is new territory for them, so the entire industry is on edge. Every slight development, every cryptic Instagram post, every rumor of a hush-hush legal filing generates a frenzy of speculation. Will the Carters quietly block every financial pathway available to Kanye? Will they unleash a scathing public statement that forces him to backtrack? Or is there still a sliver of possibility for backroom negotiations to keep this from erupting even more? Right now, all eyes are on the Carters and Kanye as they stand at the center of a cultural crossroads. A single decision by either side could shift alliances and reshape how we view celebrity conflicts for years to come. It's almost unbelievable how far Kanye and the Carters have fallen, especially given how once upon a time he seemed like their staunchest defender. The same artist who once hijacked an award show mic to profess that Beyoncé deserved top honors is now casting mean-spirited speculation about her children. Fans who admired their once powerful bond can't help but feel disillusioned. This unraveling relationship is a stark reminder that even the strongest friendships can decay if fed by mistrust and unspoken resentments. Kanye's refusal to offer genuine remorse, combined with Beyoncé's rumored legal and business counterattacks, crystallizes a harsh lesson. Loyalty in the entertainment world doesn't come with lifelong guarantees, and public feuds can escalate beyond anyone's control when families become the target. This could go beyond just severing personal ties. It might fundamentally alter how industry heavyweights operate, affecting alliances, contracts, and future collaborations. What remains to be seen is how this final chapter plays out. Will we witness a legal standoff, a high-production music video calling out Kanye's misdeeds, or a surprise truce hammered out behind the scenes for the sake of preserving a once-in-a-lifetime legacy? Each possibility looms large, and none are guaranteed. The Carters might decide on a swift, private settlement, or they might choose to let the world watch Kanye face the full force of their power. For Kanye, each day without meaningful repentance seems to push that possibility of reconciliation further out of reach. Fans, onlookers, and the entertainment world alike are bracing themselves, because if the Carters commit to retaliation, it might not only make headlines, it could systematically dismantle everything Kanye has built. Even a genius can be undone by reckless words, especially when those words strike at the heart of a protective mother. And yet, part of the public still hopes that maybe there's a final chance at redemption, even if it grows dimmer by the minute. So we wait, perched on the edge of a feud that could blaze through social media, tabloids, and courtrooms. Will Kanye's next move spark an industry-wide quake, or will Beyonce's reaction be the true earthquake, shifting the balance of power in Hollywood forever? One thing is certain, the final reveal in this saga promises to be as unpredictable as the two formidable sides waging this battle, and we're all left asking, will this spell the ultimate downfall for an artist who once claimed he could never be controlled, or will it trigger a long overdue reckoning for a man who crossed the line one time too many? The answers are just over the horizon, and in a world as dramatic as showbiz, that horizon might arrive faster than anyone expects.